of seats just above the luxury suites here is actually almost full. And those are the fans that before long you hope to get a chance to move down and give this place a little more energy.
Again, Federer.
That's what Federer is going to do when he plays this match. That you'll see dare Agassi to come in. He's going to use that slice on the backhand shorter than you'd expect to give Andre something to think about. And Davenport, at this rate, will be over in a couple more minutes.
There's Henman. A break, and they have started. The two young Russians, Petrova and Kuznetsova, they're playing on court 11 right now. On serve.
And you notice the top tier is almost completely empty, and there's a lot of seats down below that are empty. So Ted, let's hope that the people, the faithful, the real fans, give them a shot to come down and energize this place before too long.
That would be, I think that would be very welcome. And that's something that the USTA has done a very nice job of in the last year or so, encouraging that.
Before we get too far into this match, I should mention in Tim Henman's behalf that he's been getting a lot of treatment on his back that we've talked about. So he's only allowed one person in the locker room. And they should stretch that. So Paul Anacone's his coach, hasn't been allowed in the locker room last 4 days.
Is that right?
Because he needs, just before he gets out, to get the back treated. Wow. You're like, wait a second, come on. We can bend the rules a bit there, can't we?
That's the no posse rule you're talking about, right?
Well, that's totally unnecessary, obviously.
And, you know, John, you look over in Andre Agassi's box right now, and you see the longest running tennis marriage that I can think of, which is Andre Agassi and Gil Reyes.
His brother, Phil, is back in the scene. It's been a while since I've seen Philip Agassi.
Gil with the all black there has been with Andre, I believe it's 16 years now. Strength and fitness for Andre.
That's a great play. Agassi at 34, exhibiting some quickness there. Federer did well to track this down, put the ball pretty deep, but Agassi got over there in a hurry. Hit the winner to the open court. This has the potential to be an unbelievable match here tonight. And please don't rain for the next 3 hours.
Each man holds. And if you want to catch this spectacular night of tennis in high definition, you can watch our coverage on Bravo HD+. Check your local listings for availability.
Talk about going from defense to offense. I guess he hit a pretty solid return. Federer makes difficult shots look painfully easy.
All right, great start for Henman. He's up 2 breaks. Of course, for the winners, there's the other ladies quarterfinal. The male winners of these 2 matches tonight, if they are completed, will get 2 days off.
Which would be good for Henman, you would presume. Played a lot of long, tough matches. The back, because he would need to be at 100% to beat either of these 2 players.
Federer's first double fault after serving 3 aces in his first game.
Well, he's trying to employ the same type of tactic that Roddick employed at Wimbledon. Is up the ante a little bit, hitting a little more pace and power.
What depth on this last one.
He certainly did here. He really steps in and rips that backhand right on the line. And there's Federer putting a little extra juice on that serve. 128.
On the IBM serve speed gun. So 4 early aces.
Game, Federer.
So Federer uses the serve. Go from 30 all to a hold.
2 games to 1. A set.
That's right, Capriati and
well, Agassi is held here
for 2 all. Capriati and Dementiva are both comfortable knowing they'll play on Friday.
Another race.
And I'll tell you, it's the one thing you don't hear a lot about with Federer, John, is the serve.
Oh, there that's one of the first times I've seen him break 130. That's 131. He certainly knows from experience how well Agassi returns. He's always had an excellent serve, right? Not at the level power-wise, obviously, of Andy Roddick and Joachim Johansson, but plenty good enough. I mean, this Sampras would serve in the 120s, and he'd back it up with some outstanding volleying, and unbelievably tough to break with Sampras. Federer doesn't come in as much as Pete, and he's got that awesome forehand to back it up. Andre assumed that Federer would be so eager there that he moved to one side or the other and hit it right back up the middle. And Federer just stood there waiting. 2 or 3 fakes, had a chance of the pass, couldn't pull it off. That's the shot that Federer is going to use often, I think, against Agassi.
A short one.
Short. Slice it, keep it low, force Agassi to make a decision. He prefers to grind it out from the baseline and wear you down. Federer is not, he's being saved at this point early by all those aces, but he's not quite in the flow yet. This could be a chance for Agassi to get off to a good start.
But Federer he's had that first serve. So we stay on serve. First set.
3 games to 2, first set.
Twice the Wimbledon champion, but this is the moment that Roger Federer has not yet experienced. The big night match in New York, and it's not the full experience.
It's getting there, though. It's improving.
It's
each
better.
Changeover.
Yep. The opponent obviously is big time under the lights. The first time he's been this far in the Open. And Federer knows it. He's talked about it. The moment he has to beat.
It's actually a great opportunity for him, because even if he doesn't win this tournament, he quite probably will end up the year #1 anyway. And if he does win the tournament, he's going to have one of the greatest years that you've seen in the last 15. And since Matt's won 3 out of the 4 slams. And he's playing Andre Agassi.
Right. But let's face it, this is the kind of night now, and he's got a chance. Love 30. This is the kind of night that puts you on the map in America if you can beat Agassi under the lights in New York. And now it's love 30 for Federer.
He's impressed pretty much the rest of the world. And he's played a surprisingly weak game here, Andre. Love 40. Doesn't want Federer to settle into a groove, that's for sure. If he gets going, watch out. That was such a beautiful effort by Federer, though.
And you know, John, what's great about this? Watch, Andre doesn't stop because he knows
exactly
how good Federer is.
He's always had one of the best backhand overs. You're absolutely right. Watch him right here.
He's ready.
Yeah, you better believe it. He's going to be ready. He's been around too long not to be. And it's a great point, Ted, because so often players don't expect the ball to come back and cost them. Break points gone.
30-40.
Agassi gone already. 1-1. What was that? 20? How many minutes was that?
Lindsay Davenport is ecstatic right now.
She couldn't have asked for anything better.
Just out.
It's a perfect example at this point of how fast Federer is. In case you didn't know how great an athlete Roger Federer is, how quickly he can move around the court.
So Federer has the first break.
He is playing extremely well. Total domination over here.
Well, actually, for Davenport, the streak now, she has made at least the semis 7 of the last 8 years here. That is amazing consistency.
What's her winning streak, too? She's won like 24, 25 matches in a row, I believe. So she's going to be difficult to beat. That's why you do all those sit-ups. Get the stomach strong. Hit shots like Agassi just did.
Yeah,
I'll tell you one thing, he's serving great tennis.
6 aces.
Very well. It's not good news for Agassi. That's why Agassi looked up.
That's not good news either.
Not again.
Pascal Maria in the chair for this match.
Let service. Again, Federer.
125 down the middle. 7 aces already for Federer. First point on Agassi's serve. Federer. 7 aces already.
He's starting to loosen up out there.
Yeah.
We have to bring this up quickly because I got to give kudos to the USTA. They're taking me up on my offer here. All Queens residents are welcome to watch the outer courts or sit in the promenade level, which is the higher level, and ask for free. And all they have to do is show their Queens ID at the gate to enter.
So there you go. Murray Hill, Kew Gardens, Douglaston.
So if you want to come on out. They claim it's John McEnroe night. You know, I'm a Queens boy, and the ticket holders, as you see, have been moved down closer to courtside, so they're listening to us, Ted.
Well done.
It's good stuff. Well done, Arlen Kantarian and the others at the USTA. That is nasty. Oh, that's just. But that's why you look at a guy like this and you say to yourself, this could be the greatest player that ever lived.
This is sick.
Because he's got the power. He's got Agassi off balance. I mean, this is unreal.
And the worst part, I keep saying this with Federer, John, the worst part is he does all this to you and he doesn't look like he's even breaking a sweat.
Yeah, it just looks like he could do it all day. Even that point, you know, he played a very intelligent passing shot. Andre had to be at the top of his game just to win that point. Still set point for Federer.
Ooh, a little slip. And that saves it for Agassi.
Well, thankfully, that is not rain. There's perhaps some perspiration on the court. Just sneakers gave out on him there.
Long-time Aussie pro Darren Cahill has been Agassi's coach the last several years. Federer coachless. Really hurt him, huh?
He's struggled this year. I tell you, I don't know how he's gotten through it here. He did get tight for the first time on that shot. Sometimes you can hit so many shots, you just sort of the computer goes a little crazy for a while.
All right, they're going to a tie break for the women in the first set. Davenport already through. And now Federer trying to close out the first set.
There's just no way to read that shot. He's got such incredible racket speed.
15 off.
You just can't tell where it's going.
We talked about this with Andy Roddick last night. Measure Federer's racket speed.
I would say it's a little bit quicker than Andy's. Oh boy. There's where hustle and extra effort pays off, because that's not a point Agassi should have won. And it's a good solid volley. Agassi in all types of trouble, just flicks it back, gets it in. And Federer's got him where he wants him. And he really tightened up on that as well. They call that a brick in tennis.
30-15.
Even the best players in the world can make some technical mistakes. The step was too long, and then he was starting to move back to the center before he finished his shot. Caused that miss.
We hit 130, and now Federer with his third set point, first on his serve. Well, that first serve, in many ways, the difference. Yep. His first set, which goes 6-3 to Federer. So we're underway second set. Federer with a beautiful overhead to win the first point. And now the Sterling inside-out forehand, and it's starting to have a little bit of a look of a Federer clinic.
In the beginning, he wasn't in the groove, and he was getting some points on the serve, but he just suddenly clicked in. Held the 2-all, and has been a different player since. And Agassi's going to have to lift his game here.
And that's, I guess, the question, John, for Andre. With all of his veteran wild, can he alter a tactic here? Try to throw him off?
He could try some different things. I mean, he could move back more on the return. He could hit some more moonball type shots. The court's playing rather quickly, but he's got some options. His serve has improved as well, Agassi, so he can win some points there and be beneficial. And Federer, obviously, as his first set progressed, played the cleaner set. That's well done. See there, I remember when he won the French in '99. That was clay courts, and he was being dominated by Carlos Moy in the round of 16. He was the defending champion at the time, and he started attacking the net. Totally turned the match around, won that match, and won the tournament.
See, and something like that, John, will also get the crowd that's here. Will get them more into it.
It's a good game from Love 30.
There's probably 10,000 people here now, and that's what Andre wants to get them into it. So Agassi holds to start the second set. Now let's check in with Michael Barkan.
Well, Ted and John, I know you were wondering about this. It's rare that a day session, any session, gets canceled at the U.S. Open. They always try to get matches in, but officially the day session has been canceled. So what does that mean? Well, if you're a day session ticket holder, you can use your tickets for tonight's session, or you can use your tickets for tomorrow's day or night session, or Friday's day session. And there's still a third option from the USTA, and that is you can turn them in for next year's U.S. Open, the 2005 U.S. Open. And that'll do it. Ted, John?
What happens if they come the next day and the people that have the same tickets show up?
We wondered that. We're going to nail that down. I knew Johnny Mack was going to ask me that. We're calling the USTA.
Okay.
We're working on it. We're going to find that out. Let's get started.
Great point.
Heavy artillery being exchanged there.
Kuznetsova, first set tiebreak over Petrova. And this crowd will really get into it if Andre can break.
15-13.
Show some vulnerabilities or some crack in Federer's game.
Well, he had Love 30 the last game. He's in a bit of a run now. Federer might have thought, just relaxed a little bit, thought it was going to come a little bit easier. Agassi's picked it up. So quick to take advantage of Federer running around that forehand. But classic Agassi there. That shot before, Federer had tried to run around his backhand, got a little anxious. He's not hitting that backhand as well, obviously. Put himself out of position. He's got that great overhead. Now the crowd's getting pumped up.
So these 10,000 are going to sound like 100,000 if Andre can get this break.
Roger Federer has been a little shaky at net. He's only won half his points, and that was an easy miss there to give Agassi the break. No emotion shown by Roger, but boy, he's got to be angry inside.
So just the moment it looked like Federer was trying to put his stamp on this match early in the second set. A couple of great shots to start the set, and now Agassi responds, and he's up a break.
The
scrumptulescent James Lipton. Host of Inside the Actors Studio on Bravo. So you can tell I've watched way too much Will Ferrell.
He loves that. Are you kidding? Will does that imitation. Andre is moving so well out there. Look at that last backhand he hit. His technique is absolutely perfect.
30 loves.
Agassi now has won 10 of the last 11 points.
This time Roger runs through that volley, dumps it in the net.
40 loves.
And the return was excellent. That's why he moved in. Not good preparation. A little bit sluggish up there at the net.
So Agassi comes out, takes the first 3 games of the second set, tries to draw this New York night crowd into the match. Roger Federer steaming through the first set, but Andre Agassi with an answer. Up a break at 3-love, second set. Live in New York, Lindsay Davenport has already won her quarterfinal. There are 2 other quarterfinal matches ongoing right now. Tim Henman is up a set on Dominic Herbati. They're on serve in the second. There's Davenport's score. And Kuznetsova winning the first set from Petrova.
Loose play from Federer in the second set. Surprising.
15 loves.
There's a lot more people in here than what we thought would happen early in the match. Seems to have rattled a little bit Roger Federer, along with Agassi's improved play.
Only 15.
And a clean second set so far for Agassi.
Only 15. Federer.
So Federer on the board, second set. And John, I know you have nothing else going on Saturday afternoon, so you're going to be glued to the
center.
Yeah.
No, wait a second. What? I'm sorry, I've got some work to do that day.
15 loves.
That's a first. Okay. Now I know NBC has moved in on USA. Watch the Agassi-Federer match tonight. Enjoy it, but don't watch the semis or finals.
No, Notre Dame, Michigan Saturday.
13 loves.
Come on, you're an Irishman. All I have to do is hear that fight song once.
I have to admit, I did love Notre Dame growing up.
Well, the first, you don't see that often from Federer.
Shaking his head.
Yep.
This is not a good set from him. And the first 2 points were awesome. And since then, it's lackadaisical, I think you could call it.
So this is what Agassi needed. We got Federer coming back to earth. So a first set win for Federer, but Agassi has yet to make an error in the second set. He's up 4-1.
And we got to mention one more time quick, all Queens residents are welcome to come here for free. All they have to do is come to the gate and show their Queen. I don't have a Queen's ID. I don't remember having that, but I'm sure they could come up with something.
Driver's license will work.
Good, thank you. Come see some great tennis. It's on the USTA.
That's right, and it looks. Andre can hold himself here like
at least 2 more
exactly
sets.
Right.
So they can get here in time for a great conclusion, we hope.
Oh, well, there's the vintage Agassi return of serve.
You can't be afraid if you're Federer to be more aggressive, though. It's the first time I've seen him serve and volley. And he's been decidedly unsure of himself at net so far.
Over the top.
There's another one.
Beautiful.
Agassi proving again he doesn't just have a great return, he doesn't just have power. He flicks that ball, heavy topspin. Federer knew that was going in the moment it was struck.
Game, Federer.
And the 8th ace for Federer, his first in the second set.
Agassi leads 4 games to 2.
And now the flip in this set. That's 13 straight points that Agassi has won on his serve.
Well, so far, his percentage is unbelievable this set. Now, admittedly, this is only the 4th time he served, but at the moment, 87%. He's turned the match around with his serve.
A little voice comes from Federer. Another thing you don't hear much.
You don't see the backhand winners as much. So that would be worrisome for Andre if he could start doing that consistently. That's where he can improvise so well. He deliberately hit that short and angled it. It was not a miss hit. There's no doubt that ball was in.
That's yours.
to zero in on that backhand and make Federer beat him with that shot.
Exactly. You know, and Steffi Graf and Jaden, her son, her daughter also has been here. But Andre knows he can't give up any edge that he has. And he's got that break.
This is too good. Andre Agassi was hustling big time. He just couldn't track down this final forehand.
How many times have you ever seen anybody do that to Andre?
That was not easy, believe me. Two heavyweight tennis players out there, that's for sure. Got a little lucky there.
Yes.
Advantage, I guess.
That is Federer's bread and butter.
Well, that previous shot was very close.
Both lines.
And it worked for Agassi, so he holds and is one game from leveling this match. Live in New York, a day of rain, washed out tennis. It's all being played tonight. And the marquee match coming to the close of the second set.
Well, this is incredible. I mean, Agassi's been phenomenal at net. He's won 8 out of the 9 points. Federer 4 out of 12. That was the last guy who won 3 majors in 1 year. Mats Wilander, 7 overall. He took up about a guy who didn't beat himself.
Okay, we go from a Swedish champion to a Chicago champion. How about that?
MVP last year.
Evan Garnett.
$15-13.
Listen to all the queens.
That's right. Coming out. The set points to level this match. Federer looks like he knows it's going at least 4.
Well, now it's officially a New York night. Live, it's the U.S. Open. Agassi and Federer set apiece.
We are back, and we have ourselves a match here in Arthur Ashe Stadium. 1 set all. Roger Federer winning the first 6-3. You see Andre bouncing back in a big way. 6-2 in the second set. There's more and more people coming in to this huge stadium. There's Pancho Segura. Used to coach Jimmy Connors. Was a great player in his own right. Still out there at 80+ years of age enjoying the tennis. Federer, we've seen this before from Federer here, where he seems to just go away. You don't quite know why. You can see what he's capable of.
We haven't seen it at Wimbledon.
Not the last couple years, although if you remember in the round of 16 last year, he was debating whether he was going to play the match. Against who at that time I thought was a serve and volley, or Feliciano Lopez. He didn't do that here. Unbelievable shot. He's not supposed to have that much feel. Come on. I think Andre impressed himself there.
I think you're right.
He's taking a couple deep breaths going, wow, that is very, very good. He's on some run right now, Agassi.
And this is what he wants to keep going. Keep this crowd in it. Third love game. And Andre creeping up on Lendl, and then vexatious. Man, is he a healthy looking man?
He looks very good.
Yes, he does.
And he's secure at least till next year with Andre. Even Andre wins out, but 74. So he's sort of hoping Andre wins it and retires, you know,
and rides off
like Pete did 2 years ago. That stat looks misleading at the moment, because it looks like Andre's in some a real chance to win this match. Federer is not playing as well, and Andre is playing significantly better.
Love 15.
Agassi normally hits second serve returns from inside the baseline. He still hit that one for a winner. Is this the guy that they said couldn't win tournaments anymore a month ago? Come on. Win Cincinnati and beat Roddick there. He beat Hewitt there. Federer played but lost first round, Ted.
Right, and is this the guy who seems unbeatable? And Federer looks quite human.
He looks human, and Andre looks like he's, you know, going to win another slam the way things gone the last half hour. Federer sensing a little bit of desperate times here, and concern at the least. He doesn't want to get down a break here in the third. Oh, there he is. All right, Jimmy Connors is here. He knows how to win 5 U.S. Open titles.
Well, how about that? That's Jimmy Connors now, Wimbledon and U.S. Open in the same year. Not sure we've seen that.
Of Guillermo Vilas. There he is. Won the U.S. Open the last time it was played at Forest Hills. They're all here tonight because they knew this match. Everyone said, I'm coming Wednesday night, second Wednesday of the Open. Agassi, you see him
14,
bouncing
13.
around because he too recognizes how big this would be to get this break.
When exactly, he realizes he's got Federer in a vulnerable position.
Four out of 13 for Federer.
Yeah. That jumps out at you.
Agassi 10 out of 11. That's exactly what he did when he played. When we mentioned that match with Moya, where he took the net away from Moya, turned the match around, played with confidence up there, and he's doing it here.
Wow. How many in a row to the backhand? And then the one forehand.
It's pressing a little
right. Federer's trying to hit the winner with it.
You can't blame him right now. He's going for too much. Crowd is loving it.
Let for service.
Ninth ace saves a break point.
Yes.
And then his third double.
Well, there's nothing more annoying than that as a player. Hit an ace, get yourself out of trouble, and get right back into it with a double fault. Andre's got that look in his eyes.
Yes.
I like that, John.
He's so honed in on watching that ball. He takes it from the time the ball comes out of Federer's hand, even before he strikes it. Zeroes in on it so he can hit the return.
It is the look because as a player you sense this is your time. This is the chance you have to take control of a match.
He has that look often, but certainly in this case, yes, because this is such a great opportunity for him. That would be a bit of a confidence builder for Federer.
Advantage Federer.
No, he's not a good percentage in it. That's his first volley winner.
And that's unbelievable. It's taken into the third set. Scrapes out of trouble there.
One game more.
Arlen Cantarian on the in the background on the left. This man runs the U.S. Open for the USTA, and David Wheaton, Minnesotan and quarterfinalist here when he had the misfortune of running into Mr. McEnroe. David now works for the USTA.
Tim Henman, by the way, is broken and serving for the second set as we speak. Looking to go up 2-0 on Dominic Rabati.
And in the other quarterfinal, Svetlana Kuznetsova is now serving for the match against Nadia Petrova. That's why Arlen's smiling right now. We need to get the women's matches.
Touch it off.
threw
Well,
it
they
there.
have the luxury of tomorrow, but
But that would have been a tough one.
Yes, that would have been
for the 4 women. They play 3 straight days.
Well, they do have best of 3, so
Right.
they've done that before. They also have the luxury of playing a final on Sunday.
Right.
It rained.
But it would have been a different competitive problem with the other 2 women already being through. Anyway, not going to matter now.
What you love is Agassi finishes the shot. He's just right there ready for the next one. It's beautiful to watch. A lesson for all you youngsters out there. He's so focused. Gets himself so ready.
Looked like he might have cut that close, but Agassi holds. So we're on serve, 3rd set, and now let's go out. Court 11, Michael Barkan.
We'll send it back inside to Arthur Ashe Stadium.
All right, Michael, Tracy, and
30-15.
30-15 now on Federer's thing. And the only bad thing tonight is that those 2 players reaching a quarterfinal at the U.S. Open didn't have the big stadium atmosphere.
Kuznetsova will have that opportunity, obviously, against Lindsay on Saturday. I should say Friday, excuse me.
And so you do feel for them in that weather, unfortunately, putting the tournament in a position where they had to play all these matches during this somewhat unexpected opening.
Maybe we should invite some people from Brooklyn, too, to fill out Court 11.
Staten Island, come on over.
And Federer.
All right, Federer holds for 2-all.
2 games all.
Know what to do if he doesn't play 5.
15 all.
It'd be a surprise. Looking like it possibly could be routine for Henman. First one, they'd win to the semis. First 3-setter. And he could use that and then 2 days off. Improbable for Henman now. Semis of the French.
30-15.
Didn't do as well quarters at Wimbledon. Now looks like he'll be in the semis here at the U.S. Open.
Never thought we'd see that.
Great effort for Henman.
Yes, it is. A terrific year.
So solidifying his position and deserving of that number 5 seed. Perplexing to watch Federer at times like this.
Well, Andre has what he hoped for. Federer's level of play not at standard.
Agassi.
Well, Arthur Ashe Stadium has filled up nicely given the situation around New York today. The remnants of Hurricane Francis hit New York. Big rains, local flooding.
Still people coming in. Some Queens residents, apparently. Good to see.
After a day where there were some road closures, train problems, no tennis at all during the day, I don't imagine very many people expected there'd be tennis tonight.
Was long.
That's enough.
Federer certainly breathing a sigh of relief because he was not in a position to hit that next shot.
Correction.
Yeah,
40
it
love.
just looks like it
Yeah.
caught the outside of the line.
Andre started to walk.
That's the first sign that it was in.
Pascal Maria rules it good. Rules correctly, as Hawkeye shows.
Game, Federer.
Well, if you're a Federer fan, Ted, the good news is that he's not playing as great as we've seen in perhaps some other matches. Yet, you look at the score, it's a set all 3-all. He's certainly still in a winning position. Match up for grabs here.
Right, but do you think this is what Andre had to hope for? To get Federer's game down just a little bit?
But some of that is, credit to Andre.
Right.
This is where you would, if, having watched Roger for the last 4 or 5 years, before he won Wimbledon, you used to say, why doesn't he seem like he's as into it as he should be? The losses here, the round of 16 losses, even last year when he played Nalbandian, he didn't seem like he was all there. Andre Agassi has been effectively attacking the Federer backhand. And that was extremely well struck. This is a shot that Federer wants to get going because Andre likes to move around that backhand. That court's open for him there if he can put enough on it. Things heating up.
John, you hit it early. I mean, Andre just, when he can, just keeps hitting to the backhand.
And he hit a pretty good shot. The funny thing is that Federer actually hit a great backhand. He had the forehand again, and he got a little anxious. It's got to be very frustrating for Federer. He's had the shots he's won and just hasn't pulled them off yet.
So Agassi holds, we move on. On serve, a set apiece.
Agassi.
Well, we waited through a long and frustrating day. And finally at night, the weather has broken enough to allow tennis to be played. Lindsay Davenport and Svetlana Kuznetsova have won their matches, and they are through to the semis. Tim Henman is up 2 sets and a break now on Dominic Urbati.
Love 15.
Trying to advance to the semis and meet the winner of this match.
Agassi with that first point with his absolutely massive forehand. Like Federer almost hit for a winner, we should say, but hit it a little bit long.
Let for service. Early 15.
Has Andre gotten better measure of Federer's serve, John, or has Federer's serve not maintained its first set pace?
Well, he did set a torrid pace. And I think Andre has gotten a little bit measure. And also, he's gotten some confidence from this up and down play of Federer. So he's less anxious. He's settled in, and Federer's the one that looks unsettled out there now. And it's been that way since that first game, really the second set. And he had that 30-love lead, hit 2 incredible shots.
40-30.
That serve's done well for Federer.
You know, I mean, Federer for the match is 68%. So it just shows you how well Agassi is returning. Accepting the fact that there will be some aces.
Again, Federer.
So it's 4-all.
New balls, please.
In the third set. Next weekend on USA and NBC, it's the Ryder Cup. USA will have the opening ceremonies next Thursday, September 16 at 5 p.m. and then first day action live from Oakland Hills, Michigan at 8 a.m. Eastern on Friday the 17th. And of course, the weekend Saturday, Sunday coverage on NBC.
Here's a new play by so many players, both Federer and Agassi switching to a new frame after the ball change. And that adds time to a match. It's incredible how many players do that now.
Did you ever do that?
Not after it's this, traditional 7 games and 9 games. If I felt like it was different, heavier conditions, or I needed a little bit more of a slingshot effect, I would go lower based on the conditions of the balls, but never the 7 and 9. That has become routine. Lendl was the first guy I ever saw do it. And that was truly great ground striking by both those players.
15-all.
It's the one where Federer really took charge. He hit that ball so well with so much spin. Agassi was lucky to get the ball back.
That previous point, though, was really a beautiful point to watch these two off the ground striking it that well.
Different styles, but yet because they're both playing from the baseline, but because they play differently. There's such great artistry to Federer's game, and Andre's bludgeoning you with the power, but his technique is awesome. What Jimmy Connors was saying there was that he thought Federer needed a little bit more time to get the ball is skidding. The court is playing fast here. The balls are light. I don't know why they get the balls faster and faster. No, just pretend that never happened. Andy Roddick likes those fast balls, and Andre does too. So perhaps that's what the USTA was thinking. Help them out a little.
Andre wants to drink a glass of milk and amnesia after that.
No replays.
Crowd continuing to lift Agassi. We stay on serve.
Agassi leads 5 games to 4. First set.
Live in New York City, and the match that so many have waited for. From the day the draw was announced, there's always one match you look forward to, you project and
This was the one in the men's, and last night was the one on the women's.
Yep.
And that will be remembered. So I hope this. Hard-fought point. It's just not power out there. I mean, that is a given that both players possess that, but they're trying to throw each other off. Federer still infrequently at net. Only 6 out of 15 success rate. That's amazing.
And you see this and you say, why should he quit? He's hanging out here with #1.
You say the same about Lindsay Davenport, right? Because that's what she was saying in Wimbledon, the way she's playing. I saw John Leach in the locker room there, and I think he's going to have to wait a while. Steffi content to let Andre play, and he's just 2 points from the third set here.
That's all. Thank you. Thank you. Quiet, please. Thank you.
Very composed point. You heard Federer at the beginning when he spoke to Michael Barkan. He knew this would be the case if they played enough to get fans in here. It's going to be an on-grade crowd.
He's feeling the pressure right now, Federer.
Yes.
And he's admitted to that before. He's used the choke word.
Thank you.
A year ago, when Federer had a chance to be #1 for the first time, played Roddick in Montreal, and he said, I couldn't control my emotions, and I choked. Hasn't happened, I don't think, since. 11 things. There's the IBM serve speed reading, and it's 5-all.
He certainly kept his cool there. You see Henman still up a break. He's at 4-2.
And the women's match is complete. So Lindsay Davenport and Svetlana Kuznetsova are through to the semis. The women's semifinal field is complete.
Thank you.
2 Russians and 2 Americans. That was a very strange return.
Low 50.
Sometimes those miss hits can be the trickiest. But Rarely will you ever see that. There was a miss hit, sort of lob return. Agassi just looked to be shot. That's long.
So now pressure switches back to Andre. He's been squeezing Federer throughout this set.
The wind's starting to kick up, and that's going to be tough now for the players. What a time for that to happen. He's so strong, though, Andre. Pumps the iron. Great upper body strength. His legs quite strong as well. That's what Gil Reyes has done for him for so many years, and he powered that serve. Agassi's swing is more compact than Federer's on both the backhand and forehand. That will help him in the wind. He's always been a great wind player, Andre Agassi. Try to go for too big a serve there.
30-40.
So Andre will face his first break point of this set.
Stay there.
No, it doesn't hop, and Federer suddenly breaks, and he'll come back and serve for the third set.
1-set all.
How quickly emotions can swing,
Thank you.
momentum can change. Agassi seemed to be really squeezing Federer, putting the pressure on Federer this set, and suddenly one break.
He was squeezing him, and that just shows you how good this guy is. And he did keep his cool. He held serve, and he bounced back. Got the break, and he's got a chance to serve this third set out. Missed that serve by a mile there.
Low 15.
Fifth double.
Had to be 10 feet long.
More nerves tonight, I think, than we've seen from Federer.
Shows you how much action Federer has on that second serve. Agassi mishit it.
15-0.
And his forehand here, there's so much spin that he's able to generate with that racket speed. And he's quick, so he gets himself back ready to put that volley away. Some second serve. Yeah.
Right down the middle.
Then with a lot of
Only
spinning
15.
action. And he's 2 points away, but he's serving.
40-15.
And now Federer with emotion, a quick lethal strike gives Federer a 2-1 lead. Agassi serving to begin the fourth set.
30-15.
Now Andre with that look of knowing he's going to have to dig deep into his conditioning reservoir. He needs to go the distance to pull this out.
Well, he's certainly conditioned to do so. He's not played long matches in this event, so he can lay it all on the line. So he's worked his way through the draw quite easily so far. Should have plenty left to go far. Ted, they've only played about an hour and 45 minutes the first two sets. So.
Three, right?
The pace to first three sets, excuse me.
Well, unfortunately, that's going to put a quick end. Boy, a cloudburst.
That happened fast.
And that will stop play immediately. My goodness.
Play suspended.
So in the first game of the fourth set.
What an unfortunate change of events. Things were heating up. So close, yet so far.
So this will be a delay that will, obviously, it will threaten tonight if it's any length of time.
They'll give these guys 45, half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just saying if it's a long one. But if it's a half hour, 45 minutes, that'd be good.
So, you know, hang in there for a little bit, because if this stops quickly, they will definitely get these guys back out there. Rabati, by the way, has broken back and has gotten himself back on serve at least. He looked to be in big trouble at 2 sets and 4-2. He's up 5-4.
So the situation tonight, the women have finished. Davenport and Kuznetsov a win. Federer up 2 sets to 1 here, and Henman up 2 sets on her body. Well, the hope here at the National Tennis Center is that this is a brief interruption. That's best guess out here is that this may pass quickly, and that would be one way to make sure that this match gets back on court tonight.
And then that means that it could be a brief Mac phone scenario. It's not been seen at the Open this year. What do you think, Ted?
Well, you know, we had it felt like we had like 4 days of Mac phone last year.
We overdid it?
No, well, no, it was
too
just
saturated.
It was just a healthy dose, and you know, all good things need to be.
I hear a call. That's a good sign.
Well, somebody find Connors. Is he on a cell phone down there?
Let's get all these guys.
Yeah.
Connors, Vilas, Vilander.
Well, again, we all hope that this is the case, that this little sudden cloudburst is a quick one, and that these two players embroiled in a terrific match through the first 3 sets can complete it tonight. Same with Herbati and Henman. They're on the grandstand on serve in the 3rd set. Henman up 2 sets. Earlier tonight, Lindsay Davenport got out and made sure.
Those are some of the memories of a different era in U.S. Open history. This is right now at the U.S. Open. This is Andre Agassi trying to recapture glory at the age of 34 at the U.S. Open, taking on the man who is the state of the art in the sport, Roger Federer. There were times last night when Federer looked like the #1 player in the world, and there were moments where his shoulders slumped when he couldn't believe what Andre Agassi had done. Their match in a moment.
As someone once said, this is what they came for. 2 big-time talents on a big-time stage. Andre Agassi and Roger Federer in one day was not enough to showcase this spectacular matchup between these 2 great champions. Bill McEntee back with John McEnroe. When the rains came last night, Roger Federer in a very tight 3rd set had just taken a 2 sets to 1 lead, and John was Andre thankful that the rains came, or was he right in the match and it wasn't a disadvantage for Federer?
He was right in there. I mean, Federer looked to be in a little bit of trouble in the midway point of the third set. He looked a little flustered by Andre. Andre was playing some outstanding stuff. He was 2 points away from the third set. But this is why Roger Federer has won 3 majors the last 15 months, because he really believes in himself. He plays the big points better and better. He came through there in the end. Early in the match there last night, Bill, I think it was favor for Federer because there was not many people in the stands. The crowd started getting more into it. More people showed up. Moved to Agassi's favor in the second set. Credit to Federer for pulling out the third. These conditions today, extremely windy.
Right.
Andre Agassi is one of the best wind players I've ever seen play. I just saw him in the locker room. And he said, great day, John. Beautiful day to play tennis. He's, trying to use that to his advantage, and I think it's going to help him a little bit here. I'm not going to say he's going to win, but I think it will give him a little bit of an edge. Federer's shot's a little bit more precise. He's got bigger swings, and Agassi's got great technique and doesn't take much of his swing. So maybe this will help him early in this fourth set.
Well, Andre got off to a slow start in the match last night, and obviously he doesn't have that cushion now. He's got to get off to a fast start.
Well, obviously not. Federer's looking to go in for the quick kill, get this over with in 4 sets. But I have a feeling you're going to see something special from Agassi here. He's in the right frame of mind. He's loose, and he wants it really badly. And I think Federer is the one that's got a little bit higher expectations, a little more to prove. Hasn't done as much here so far at the U.S. Open. Great chance for him.
Andre, a very heady player, obviously. What are the adjustments you think that he's going to make after those first 3 sets last night? Anything?
Not very too much. I mean, to be honest, Bill, he played extremely well most of the match. He volleyed well. He had Federer off guard. It was surprising for me to see Agassi so effective in net and so comfortable up there. Federer seemed the unsteadier of the two at net. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in these conditions. What you usually have to do in conditions like this is to play it a little bit safer, play a higher percentage tennis. Well, that to me favors Agassi.
2-time champion here, 8 Grand Slams overall. He has been such a tremendous force in the men's game for so many years. And does he have a little magic left?
Well, the last guy you want to count out is this guy, Andre Agassi. The moment you do that, you make a big mistake. And thankfully, those not to take anything away from that French doubles team, Knowles and Nestor advanced, and we get to see these guys right at 2 o'clock.
Straight up, ready to go in very breezy conditions that Andre says will work toward his favor against the world #1 Roger Federer. Remember, until this year, Roger Federer had never been past the round of 16 at the U.S. Open.
It's again,
and all of a sudden, this stadium comes to life.
Well, it comes to life, but still surprisingly sparse crowd here. This is why you run those hills and pump the iron the way Andre does. He's so strong, he can muscle the ball through this wind. Look at how windy it is.
Miss hit by Federer there. John, what do you think? What do you expect to see both players try to do here early on to establish their own tempo?
Well, I'll tell you what I forgot. Actually, looking up, I just looked up. I forgot that they had actually played a couple points into the 4th set. That was a tricky time for Agassi to come out. He wins the first 2 points in the game as they switch sides. And what you're going to look for is the resolve here of Federer to me, who's going to have to use that serve to his advantage, because these aren't conditions that he's used to playing in. Agassi grew up in Vegas. This is a normal day here.
That's right. And there's no sand to contend with.
That's right.
Unbelievable ability to create something from Federer.
It's also that cat-like quickness a la Pete Sampras, who played so well here so often. And he's able to scoot over there, and he's strong enough. I mean, Federer, don't underestimate his strength as well. I mean, he works hard off the court. I mean, he's in very good condition. Doesn't take that #1 ranking for granted.
15 love. Roger Federer says he likes New York, enjoys playing here. Now 23 years old, from Switzerland, and his hard court record this year, 33-4 in this round of 16 results, including this year.
And they have a big art fair in Basel, but an indoor event. But I suspect he hasn't played as often. In fact, I'm almost sure he hasn't played as often in conditions like this. And it's Agassi off to the good start.
And an opening at 15:30. Just underway. Fourth set, Federer, Agassi.
That's yours.
This is one of the advantages of the equipment and the power in the rackets, that they can hit through this wind more easily than in the past.
Boy, the wind held that up. Tough to lob in these conditions.
And very tough to do anything in these conditions. Imagine with a wood racket, trying to hit through the ball and generate pace.
Federer a point to hold for 1-all in the fourth.
The ball would be going backwards if I were playing out there right now. Oh, that ball moved 10 feet and the wind carried it out. And this is maybe a time for this umpire. Who's the umpire, Bill?
Pascal Maria.
Or maybe turn that mic off during the point, so we don't hear the wind howling. And more importantly, the players don't hear it. Conditions are tough enough. You don't want to get on their nerves by having that mic make too much noise. Incredibly difficult conditions to play top tennis.
Federer holds and 1-all now in the fourth set.
Probably an advantage to Roger that he can serve with a little bit of wind. Yeah, it's howling, and look at, they're about to get going again.
They are back underway, we're told now. So Hinman trying to close it out, but on serve in the third set.
I'll tell you, how do you think Rabati's ball toss would be going? It might come in the stands here in this stadium.
How tough is it to find your range in gusty conditions?
I always found it incredibly difficult. Some of it's attitude, which is why Andre was trying to get real positive in the locker room. And some of it is technique and being able to adjust, shorten the strokes if you need to. You're gonna have to play a let here. I was tempted to tell Rabati, it's not any of my business, but do you think about maybe lowering that toss a bit? But that's obviously an adjustment he'll decide he should make or not.
Housekeeping done. The paper's off the court, and they'll replay the point. 15-love. Agassi serving 1-all in the fourth. Federer up 2-1.
Federer not thrilled with that call a couple shots ago. It looked to me like it skidded just barely off the back of the line. He's still taking a long look.
(30-15).
30-15 now.
And footwork is key, Bill, here, because you really got to keep your feet moving, but be able to be on your toes so you can move a little more, because that ball's moving so weird out there. You're going to have to change gears in a hurry. You do not want to get yourself planted out there. So what you do is you keep the steps very short and your balance is there so that you have to make a quick, if you need to make a quick adjustment, you can.
30 all in the crowd encouraging Andre Agassi.
Yeah, it's tougher on that side. He's against the wind and it's awful tough to generate pace. Not that it's easy on Rogers' side, don't get me wrong. Look at that ball move. Oh boy, Federer changed his mind. I think he was going to hit the drop shot, and then he was like, wait a second, I can't hit a drop shot in these conditions. That's crazy. Because this shot, look at it, just sat there. Agassi, it was too easy. I mean, that was a big miss for Andre. If he loses this game, this is break point now.
Brilliant play from Andre. But Federer leaning to his right and put it in the corner to his left.
Look at Andre here. He's just content to spin it in. And he's ready this time. Don't make the same mistake twice. Rarely will you see Agassi do that.
Deuce.
Late for service.
Wind gusting today here in New York, 20 to 25 miles an hour. And of course, conditions in a bowl as the wind swirls can change dramatically from one moment to the next.
You know, Andre's trying to go with the safer play, which is that inside-out forehand over the low part of the net. And he wants to encourage here. He's trying to get Federer off the court and force him to go for more than he wants, but he misses it just wide. Look at how close that is. Maybe it caught. They'll keep going. Is there a plus-minus on this? Is there a margin of error on that's this what Hawkeye system, Bill? Do you know?
I'm not sure what the plus-minus is.
We got to.
We're told 3 millimeters.
Could we get that in percent, please?
Thank you.
That was awfully close. No overrule. Another break point. Another big point at this stage of the match. The same play from Agassi, and it works again.
Well, he's on to something here. You know, Federer doesn't like to hit the backhand as much as the forehand, and that's obvious.
Heyman serving to try to send the third set to a tiebreak against her body.
Advantage, Agassi.
you don't want to go for the lines. I'm not saying Andre was there. Of course, he knows how good this guy is, so it's a fine line. You don't want the ball just to sit there.
Total match time right at 2 hours. That was Andre's third double fault. And follows that up nicely with his third ace. Another point to hold for 2-1. Federer already with 11 aces. Andre steps back for a moment while the wind gusts.
Well, that ball sat there for what appeared like a minute before it dropped. From our viewpoint, Bill, right on the line.
And then Federer hit another line for the winner. So the fourth deuce.
Was a careless and a dangerous shot for Federer there to try to find that angle with the wind howling like it is. And that's why he sort of looked at his racket a little disgustedly.
Andre trying to do what he did successfully last night, and that is to come back after losing a set. Back and won the second 6-2. There's the hold. Couple of break chances, but Andre hangs in there. 2-1. And let's swing you over to the grandstand now. First point, fourth game of the fourth set, and it goes to Andre Agassi. And John, it's almost fitting that the new gunslinger in town, Federer, the #1 seed at the Open for the first time, has to knock off the sheriff, and that's what Andre Agassi has been at the age of 34.
This is an additional test dealing with these conditions. I mean, he had to hold up his serve about 10 or 15 seconds. And Agassi hit a very tough ball, a topspin lob in these conditions.
15-0.
How does he pull these shots off?
He had rain earlier today, interrupted play for about 45 minutes, but it's been clear for the last few hours.
Look at that. That's why you got to keep balance and small steps, and you got to be ready to move in a hurry. And look at this ball right here. It's short, which should be pretty easy, and Federer
just died.
It's just like a dead duck. And that's where that big swing can be a liability for Federer.
Chance for Andre at 15-30.
Agassi wanted that bad. Make Federer hit a volley there. You're giving him a couple break points. Roger does play with a lower margin for error than Andre does. The crowd's starting to fill in, realizing this match has started. So they're out there. He pushed that, and he's got Agassi. That is a break point. He's got his chance now
to go up 3-1. Federer up 2-1. Resumption of the match suspended because of rain last night.
sort of an unwritten rule that you don't want to try drop shots from behind the baseline, especially in tough conditions like this. Andre knows that was not a good call because he hits that backhand so well.
Well, he knew almost the moment that he hit it.
He's very upset with himself there.
It was a great chance. Now deuce.
Hedman, by the way, has broken the first game in the fourth set. How about losing that third?
And how about Tim Hedman? Questions as to whether or not because of his back he'd even get out of the first round.
He's showing a lot of guts and heart in the French where he got to the semis. Now here. Roger a little tentative there on those backhands and cost him the point. Hedman's also figured out a way to put less pressure on himself and somehow enjoy being out there a little more, and that's helped him in these other majors where every year there's so much pressure on Hedman at Wimbledon, more than any player I've ever seen in the history of our sport.
12 aces now for Federer. There's that wind gusting.
Well played by Roger Federer. He stuck with it there. Kept his composure. Even when he hit this ball back to Andre, he realized he was in a winning position. And when he saw that ball floating, he moved in fast. Take no unnecessary chances out there. If you make a shot easier, that's exactly what you want to do.
Andre, who faced 2 break points in his last service game.
Unbelievable there.
Same thing happened to him again, and Federer looks over to his box and kind of shrugs his shoulders.
That's about as far as I've ever seen a ball move in a single shot. I mean, look at this here. Thinks he's going to hit a backhand at first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea by Roger. He's got to assume it's tough to hit passing shots, which it is, but a little too short. And again, Andre's so strong there. He just muscles that ball for a winner.
Steffi looking on. Love. 2-all, fourth set. On serve, when we come back, Ted Robinson will be with John McEnroe. We'll return to the Open in a moment.
Well, outside it's like it is inside.
Very similar.
If Roger Federer can pull this off, John, it will answer all the questions about New York. He proved he could beat rain at Wimbledon, but to beat the night, which he did last night, and this kind of wind. This is everything at the U.S. Open all in once.
Well, they didn't want it to be easy for him. They figured, listen, he's already won 2. And you know, these U.S. Open guys, they want the American to come through. And it's just ridiculously tough out there. So they've got some umbrellas there. You see, this guy looks like he's the hurricane, remnants of hurricane. Which one was it? I lost track.
This is Francis.
Yvonne or Francis?
This is Francis.
Now, this could be another. I hate to bring this up because the USTA has been listening to us, Ted, so well. But you know something. That indoor stadium, it'll be looking a little bit roof over the head. Improve the level of play.
Well, this is a fluke. I mean, have you ever seen win like this here?
When Edberg played
One
Aaron
time.
Crichton,
That's
night.
the only match I ever remember in 18 years like this. You win.
It's just crazy conditions. It seems like it's gotten worse in the last game. As bad as it was the first 5, it's got even more difficult.
And that was the night that when Edberg lost to Crichton that night, that you left thinking, as great a player as Edberg was, he would never win here. Because he so disliked those conditions. Henman up a break still in the 4th. And Edberg eventually won this twice.
He won it twice. And Federer is someone who, with his style of play and his mentality and temperament's probably not wild about it.
If it hadn't been for you and Jimmy, how many would Borg have won here? He beat everybody except you two guys.
Well, he did. His best chance probably was playing Jimmy at Forest Hills. We did that feature. Boy. It was when it was played, because it was played on clay. From 75, 6, and 7, they played on clay, which is Bjorn's best surface. And he lost to Connors in the finals in 76. And it was moved here, which was a less comfortable surface. Even then, he still was in many finals. 2 that I can recall vividly.
15.
And Andre's serve there was 79 miles per hour. Hitting to the center of the court. Smart. That was about a 20-shot rally. It wasn't to that last shot when either player even attempted to go for something big. And that was the one that was a miss.
Now, I've never been to Basel, but I can't fathom there's too many days like this that Federer grew up playing. There are plenty of days like this in Las Vegas.
That's pretty much what Andre was pointing out to Roger in the locker room before the match. Getting themselves ready in the training room. Last minute preparation. Hey, it's really windy out here. You know, it's a great day, isn't it? As Andre likes to say, that meat and potatoes type of style, this is it.
Well, this set going like the third set did last night. Straight on serve.
7-3.
Tough conditions to change shirts.
Look at this. You know what else he's doing there? See the shirts with no collars. Andre's checking to say, okay, which is the front and which is the back.
Tougher than hitting a return right now. And that is tough.
But the one difference here right now is that Federer has margin for error. Andre can't afford to have this set end the way last night did with that quick reversal.
15-all.
Both players have become more and more tentative.
15-30.
Photographer's looking to get a shot of something special so they can sell that picture around the world.
There have to be 100 big-time lensmen and lenswomen ringing the photographer's pit.
30-all.
Oh, Henman now 3 games from a semifinal berth.
That is the hardest serve that Roger Federer's hit since he came out in the court today.
Imagine what those two guys tonight can do if they get a chance to serve with the wind.
Stays like this, it'll be a lot tougher.
But right now,
Yes.
Andre Agassi is thinking one thing. I can squeeze 2 points right here. But the same way Federer had answered almost everything last night with big first serve.
Don't forget that the last set of last night, the third set, that Andre was 2 sets from winning that set at 5-4 deuce.
2 points.
2 points.
Right,
What did I say? 2 sets?
Yeah.
2 points. The problem there is that you don't know when the ball is going to be taken for a ride. I mean, it's unpredictable.
Yes.
Just when you think you sort of figured it out a little bit, something weird happens. And the ball just sails on you like it did with Andre's ball.
I'm not sure television is able to show it quite as well, but with the naked eye sitting here, it's unbelievable.
It's a shame that they have to play under these conditions. Henman, by the way, is broken again. 4-1, 2 breaks in the 4th. He's looking very good for the semis. This is getting to Roger a bit right now.
Yeah, well, here's a great opening for Agassi. He didn't get this point last night.
Well, please.
Time and time again, we've seen with Federer that forehand is saving him.
Yes.
That racket speed, that's where he generates his pace. He controls the ball with his wrist. He saves that break point.
Advantage. Federer.
Same 1-2 punch there again. That's an example of where his feet were planted and it caused problems for him. He reached for that forehand.
Agassi's.
Almost hit his racket there. Wouldn't want to be hitting second serves right now.
No.
Break point
Nope.
down. It's on the line. Oh.
Yes.
No question, ball was in.
Yeah, I thought it skidded off the line, but there's no doubt it was in.
Right.
Inside or on the line.
Nine doubles for Federer, 4 today. And his third ace today, 14th of the match.
Advantage, Agassi.
Fourth chance for Agassi to break in this game.
Living on the edge is Federer right now in this game. Well, a little luck never hurts.
Where's Boris Becker?
That's right.
Where is Boris?
Let cord, second round, won the turnaround match point. Now I guess he gets the break here. Chance to serve and level this match.
15 years ago. A bigger point for Becker. And he went on to win the Open. And now he'll serve Agassi will for a 5th set.
And it's the first time that I can remember Roger Federer coming in off Agassi's serve. And he's so talented. You wonder why he doesn't do it more often.
This is what Mats Wilander talked to us about last night, John. Federer, he said, was the guy that will change his game.
He needs a little change right now, so it was a good way to start the 5-3 game off.
Has Federer changed his game from what you've seen today because of the win?
Well, he's playing more safe than he'd like, which is a smart play. And he's had his chances. I mean, Agassi's game is better suited for these conditions. he accepts his fate here a little bit better, it appears. It's frustrating, Roger. Then again, it wouldn't have taken that much for him to be up 5-3. He could have a couple chances to break in this set.
That's right there. That's a perfect example of what you're saying, John. You have to accept that. Number one player in the world, that doesn't happen to him unless it's a day like this.
Well, here we have the set point. Agassi's strokes are so compact. It's about to level this match.
Agassi brings Ash Stadium to its feet.
2 sets all.
He beat the wind in the 4th set and the number one player. And we'll play one more to settle the score. We're going to the 5th set. What a treat to come out today and watch a little tennis with Robert Plant. And then come over and sit with you.
Thank you, Ted. I appreciate that. Robert came in and did an interview for my show later, which is, I mean, Zeppelin was my favorite band growing up. Talk about a treat.
Interesting for Federer, that career 5-set record. Yeah. These two have never played one before, and of course the biggest the match that put Federer on the tennis map was that one. Ended Pete Sampras's Wimbledon run.
30-15.
And it was 2 months later when these two met here in the round of 16, and Andre had an easy straight set win.
Well, also interesting to see that Andre's record for his career barely over 500. I'm sure a lot of those losses came pre-1999 when he's put such a supreme effort on his fitness.
Again, Federer. First game, final set.
And there it is. The Englishman, Tim Henman, in another Grand Slam semi, and it's not Wimbledon. First time for Tim. That's great effort for him. French Open semifinalist, now U.S. Open semifinalist. First guy in the semis is Tim Henman. Bad back and all. That back is looking a lot better. Now he gets a day off too. Play the semis Saturday. 30 years old. Imagine that if Andre pulled this out, 34 and 30, that would inspire the veterans of the tour.
Gianluca Pozzi will be coming back. Well, Federer crept in and Andre saw his opening.
But it's also that's the passing shot where you're playing it a little safer. It's cross court, it's the low part of the net. He hits it flat. And he just muscles the ball, you know. But looks like a flat passing shot that ends up having spin on it, which is pretty remarkable.
We have just a little more detail, John, than your point about Andre's 5-set history. course, he lost the first five-set matches he played in his career. Then he lost, of course, to our colleague Jim Courier, 5 sets in the French final. But starting in '99, the year you talked about, since then, Andre's 9-4 in 5-setters. The only one he's played this year, he lost to Safin in the semis in Australia.
That was a very physical and high-quality match. This is all the more disappointing to see Safin disappear in the first round. Remarkable to see Federer miss a ball by that much. The shot could appear to be so easy.
One game more.
Nothing is coming easy for Roger today. And I guess he figures he's up 40 love. He'll try a drop shot, just see if he can entice Federer into going for too much, and he certainly did.
Leighton Hewitt, Tommy Haas. They'll be up next here in Ash Stadium as the men's quarters continue. The first 5-set match that Agassi ever won in his career. Remember so well. Right next door. Louis Armstrong Stadium. With wide serve 15 years ago.
Is that Jimmy Connors?
Over Jimmy Connors in the quarterfinals of the Open. Down 2-1, and Agassi came back to prove that he could do what he hadn't done, win a 5-setter. A good service game for Federer. So the 5th set starts on serve. Federer and now they started last night. By the end of 3 sets, it was a New York atmosphere. Federer stunned Andre by winning the 3rd set at the tail end. Rains came, and now they finish today under bright sunshine right now. But incredible winds. 25 to 40 miles an hour, we're told.
Sure looks like it. Federer, I assume he didn't think he'd get a chance to hit that ball, but he had some time to line it up, and still a complete miss hit in the stands. I did have one match in my career, Ted, where they actually stopped playing because the wind was so bad in Palm Springs against Elliot Telcher, who was a former top 10 player.
They called it for the wind?
They called it, but it was also because, you know, there's a lot of sand there. The dust, the sand flew up. It was impossible to see. That's really the reason they stopped. The wind was like this.
Wind, that's what I was going to say. So wind is something, as a tennis player, you just have to play through.
Yeah, because Tommy Haas was just saying in the locker room he played in Key Biscayne where the wind was so bad it was just crazy against Kanyas.
That's yours.
And he was saying they should have a certain rule that if it's above a certain miles per hour they should stop it. And Andre's, you know, looking at us, me and Tommy, what are you guys? You're weak, you know, mentally. What do you get with it? It's on the line.
That's out, and now Federer will have a break point.
Quit complaining.
30-40.
This is just a stab, defensive attempt to stay in the point, and it paid off big for Federer.
Absolutely. Huge swing there. John, it's just, and we understand the conditions are a big part of this, but after watching Federer, as we have played such supreme tennis at Wimbledon the last 2 summers, it is just jolting to see this.
Well, the players out there still believe his backhand is attackable, and his movement is not quite as fluid to me on this surface. Still moves well, but not as smoothly as Wimbledon. So he's made more errors than we're accustomed to seeing.
53. Now we're in the 5th set, but that is a number that jars you.
You would never think he would make that many in a match. I don't care if it's 10 sets. Nice 54.
Boy. The Angers creeps out rarely, but right there as Federer knew he had a chance, slipped by. And obviously those numbers also showed a little bit about handling the conditions today. Today, Federer twice the errors of Agassi. Sets 4 and 5.
Microphone behind Andre is falling down. Federer is continuing to play.
And there it is.
To me, I don't want to, it's bordering on lazy when Federer reaches out on that backhand side, takes that huge step. And he's young enough and fit enough and fast enough. This one right here just reaches out for it. I mean, it seems like his balance is thrown off there. Yeah, Andre looked up at his box and said, could I have that over? I've got to make Roger hit volleys.
So a hold for Federer. They stay on serve in the 5th.
Federer leads 3-2.
This fifth set, Roger Federer served first. Agassi had that distinction in the fourth set. But the one thing is, you see Andre's last championship here was a 5-setter that, again, we keep thinking about what Mats said to us last night, John, and yet today Andre seems to be the player that has been able to change his game through the win.
Well, I've watched Andre play a lot over the years, and he's been one of the best, if not the best, players in the win. And I'll tell you another guy who was great in the win was Mats, because he was so tough mentally. So seldomly did he beat himself.
I think that's a great point you make, though. Just the mental toughness, because I know these players want to play. They want conditions where they can play their best. Everybody would like that. The reality is, it's an outdoor sport for the most part.
It's an acceptance.
Right. And athletes in all sports have to accept this.
Adjustment that Mats again talked about. It's the first time that he's served in volley that I can recall, and certainly the first time in a second serve. So he held that, let the ball drop, froze Andre Agassi, and then hit the forehand winner of the open court. That's where the player. These guys have incredible eyes. They can look at the ball and out of the corner of their eye look to see where their opponent is. It's a total miss hit. It ended up hitting and ended up being exactly where he wanted to be. I guess he thought it was going to come deep. Instead, the ball bounces. Nice and short for Roger.
Oh, Andre has not had a look. Really has no chance yet in this fifth set on Federer's serve. Well, that has been the payoff today. No rain, the trade-off rather, but fierce winds. Agassi definitely handled it better. Fourth set here in the fifth, though. Federer's service games have been fairly easy. One break point on Andre's serve.
He's got a good chance here, Federer, to take this match. And Andre's got to be very careful because he's got a little wind behind him. He's got, as you pointed out, he served first, so this could turn in a hurry here. He needs some very intense concentration right now. Unbelievably tough conditions. Look at the net. The net's shaking.
And the ball on that point, this shot, actually, the wind blew that back into Andre's range.
That's right. He hit that off the frame. I mean, you talk about having to watch the ball.
Oh, and the ball moving 3 or 4 different times when it came toward Andre. And that kind of wind.
Not up there. Andre got that on the second bounce.
That's yours.
Federer's thinking with you, John. It was his chance to go for it.
He cut it a little too close there.
40-30.
He does have this tendency to take that big step.
You see that at Wimbledon as well? Or is it just here?
Well, it just seems like he's a little bit more off balance than I remember him at net.
Federer now, you sense that he's thinking.
Could be over in
he
5
could
minutes.
do it if I could get that. This point, he can win this deuce point, put all the pressure on Andre.
And that is a very makeable shot for Federer there. Just didn't have to move much, had his forehand, and didn't make Andre hit a volley.
Net. For service.
Look at the umpire's pants legs right now. If we have a shot of that, we talk about winding.
Just a huge gust just blew through, changing light, which has also affected Andre. In a couple here, it comes again. Clouds blowing over so quickly.
That's a great play. Oh. These conditions come on.
Yes.
Way too good.
With the look of no big deal.
Yeah, like, would you expect anything different?
Oh, and now
Federer
Federer gets the point.
We were talking about break point for Roger and a chance. He wins this to serve out this match.
No, Andre pulls over the forehand.
Federer leads 5 games to 3.
Neither player was going to give in, and this ball just floated, just incredible length of time, and Agassi had to commit to it. He didn't really want to come in there.
And Federer's first positive sign today as he now serves for the match.
No 15.
Great serve. Just inside the line.
15. 15.
This fifth set, like the first set, Federer has really been strong on his serve.
I think the third set, though, he kept his cool, his composure. He's hung tough.
And Federer, and you see what this win means to him.
7-5, 3-6, 6-3.
A classy good luck from Andre Agassi. Well, he's #1 in the world, John. He's won 2 Wimbledons, but this, to me, is a benchmark win for Federer. To beat that man in all of the conditions that make this championship so challenging.
I think he showed a lot of people in the United States of America and around the world, in case they hadn't seen him, how great a player he is, because it's impossible to play your best here. And to show how mentally strong he's become since winning, finally getting over that hump and winning that first Wimbledon. Here's Andre. And to say he deserves this round of applause is a huge understatement. I do think he'll be back.
Yeah, it was interesting. Remember the farewell at Australia this year? Nothing like that here. Just a quick walk-off.
Well, you know, here's this first semifinal matchup. It's Federer-Hammond, but forget the draw. Let's hear what Roger Federer has to say. Mike.
All right, Johnny Mac, thank you very much. That's how bad the wind is down here. How did you deal with that wind today, Roger? Because it looked brutal.
It was very difficult. It's one of the worst conditions, you know, concerning the wind I've played in. And, you know, it's tough to come back from, you know, no wind, night session to day session and real wind. So it was a big change for me.
What adjustments did you have to make in your game because of the wind?
Well, it was more keeping the ball in play. You know, it's like playing warm-up tennis, you know, and trying to keep the ball in play. And same for Andre. We didn't have the, you know, the great winners like we had last night, but still thought we had a great match.
What was your approach to today? You take it like you're up 2-1, or you take it like a fresh match? How do you approach that when you have a night to sleep on it?
Well, for me, it was a good situation to be up 2-1. You know, I sleep much better this way, and everything looks more relaxed. But once I lost the fourth set, you know, I wasn't that relaxed anymore because I knew somehow Andre was playing really well in the wind, so I knew it was going to get tough.
2 out of 3 Grand Slams so far this year. You look like you may be headed to another one. Is it uncharted territory for you since you first time in the semifinals here at the U.S. Open?
Yeah, it's the first time for me in the semis. I'm very happy. Thank you. So I really hope I can keep it up and keep going. And obviously 3 out of 4 would be fantastic, but I'm already very happy to be in the semis, first of all.
Congratulations, Roger. Roger Federer, moving on. Teddy.
Well, he did it all in less than 24 hours. He beat the night, he beat the rain, he beat the wind, he beat New York, and he beat Andre Agassi.
That's a lot of beating. That sure took a beating, that last shot there.
Because he knew how big it was. And again, John, this is interesting for Andre. That sort of says, yeah, I'll see you next year. Huh?
That's the impression I get. We hope so.
Still to come, Leighton Hewitt and Tommy Haas on USA.